Hey guys, in this example, we are going to be finding the equation for a parabola given the focus and the directrix. So, looking at that again, the first thing that I would always do is draw a little picture. So we have that the directrix is at x equals a half. So that's here, sort of. And that the focus is at negative a half, 0. So it's the same distance, but on the other side of the x-axis, and it's on, the other side of the y-axis, and it's on the x-axis. Parabola is always open away from the directrix, so I know that it's going to be opening to the left. I need to find my vertex. My vertex is going to be halfway between the directrix and the focus, and it's going to be in line with the focus, right? So it's going to be halfway between. Now I can look at this and say, okay, the directrix is at positive a half, the focus is at negative a half. Obviously, my vertex is at the origin, right? I know that. But in case it's not at the origin and I can't see that really, really obviously, I can always just take the midpoint of half and negative a half, right? So 1/2 plus negative 1/2 is 0. 0 divided by 2 is still 0. So we know that the vertex is at 0, 0. But in case it's not that obvious, again, you can use midpoint formula as usual. So my parabola looks like this. It's opening to the left, and the vertex is at 0, 0. I'm just going to write that. All right, so that means that I'm not going to have anything that I have to add or subtract from the y and the x. It's opening to the left, so I'm going to have a squared y term, and my thing in front of the x is going to be negative. So I'm going to have y squared. It's opening right and left, so I'm going to have y squared equals something, negative something, right? Because it's opening to the left, negative something times x. So all I have left to do is figure out what that something is. And that something is always going to be 4p. So if I know what p is, I can figure out what this something is. P is the distance from the vertex to the focus. Well, the vertex is at 0 and the focus is at negative a half. So that distance is just a half. So p is a half. So 4p is 4 times a half, which is 2. So negative 2. So that's really all there is to it. Again, if you weren't centered at the origin, you'd have to do maybe, you'd have to actually find p, right? It would just be given to you. You'd have to find the distance from here to here, which would be fairly straightforward, right? It would be 0 minus negative a half. 0 minus negative a half is a half. So you can do that. That's fine. Or you can also go from the directrix. So be 1/2 minus 0, right? Which again is a half. So yeah. So we can use the information that we're given, find p, multiply it by 4 to give you this number, figure out the direction, and that will tell you if this is x or y and if this is positive or negative. So those are the things that you need to know to write the equation. Obviously, you need the vertex. Yep. So vertex, p, which direction is the parabola facing. Those are the things you need to know to write the equation. Hope that helps, and I will see you in the next video.